Kindergartners, today we're going to glaze these snowmen. We're going to give them a color. One of the cool things about this glaze is that it's not paint. It's made out of three things. It's made out of water and clay and minerals, which are like rocks. With the glaze that we have, you're even going to be able to see some of the little tiny rocks in there that look like little crystals. You'll have two choices of glaze. One is this blue-green color that I'm going to use. It looks like this is what the picture looks like. Looks a little bit like that, like it has blue. It's like a blue-green with little blue rocks in it. And the other one, the other choice you could have is white, and it has these blue and green rocks in it too. So I'll show you both the examples of what it looks like when it's done before you guys make a choice. So first thing is, hold your brush like a pencil, and I'm going to give you this paper to go behind it so that we don't get glaze all over your table or your desk, and so that we don't get glaze on our hands. We're not going to be spending a bunch of time at the sink. So I would like you to dip your brush in the glaze, making sure not to get it all over the handle of the brush, just on the bristles, and you're going to dip it in and you're going to brush it a little bit. Then you need to dip it back in and brush it a little bit. The clay kind of works like a sponge, and it soaks up the glaze. So it soaks it up quite fast for this first coat. If it won't go into a spot, like if it won't go into a dot or it won't go into a line, then you need to take a little bit of extra and just kind of drip it in there. So I might ask you before we start, I'm gonna say, you can't get it into a spot, what do you do? And you can say, drip it in there. So you just take an extra little bit and you drip it into those dots. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna just kind of look around. You can't see this on the video, but I'm kind of turning and I'm leaning and I'm looking up along the sides. I'm looking around the hat to make sure I don't miss any spots. So I don't want to have any white spots left. All of them are gonna be filled with this glaze. You can see even a little rock was right there. I could just put that right back on my snowman. So once I have it on the top, I don't want to forget to put the glaze on the sides. So it is okay to get glaze onto this little paper, but if you get a bunch on there, wipe it up and put it back on your snowman, because we don't want to waste any of this glaze. So glaze the edge along the top, the edge along this side. I already did the other side. And then the edge along the bottom here. You can see that I don't even have to touch my snowman. So that's one coat of glaze. We're gonna end up putting it on 3 times. So part of doing a good job glazing is being patient. We don't want to keep brushing it and brushing it and brushing it and brushing it while it's drying, because then the glaze will start to wipe off of it and it won't stick to it anymore. So please make sure that you're just being patient, you're letting it dry, and your brush always stays in your hand. If you put your brush on in the cup and you let go of the brush, it's gonna spill this cup. So we wanna make sure that this cup doesn't spill and your brush stays in your hand. I probably should let this dry a little bit more, but because of this video, I want you guys to have enough work time. So I'm gonna do the second coat, and I'm gonna do a bad example for part of this too. Sometimes I've had students where they are like scooping it up and making like a big puddle on their snowman like that. Do not do that. If you do that, I'm gonna have to wipe it off, take your snowman, let it dry, and then maybe I'll be able to bring it back. But you can see that I'm having to wipe off all of this glaze because I made such a big puddle. So yeah, you want to use enough, but you don't want to make a big puddle on it. So here I'm going to drip it into these spots because I can't really get it in there. Gotta move some of it away from the eye so it's not making a puddle. And then we'll go around this edge, go to the boots, go around here, do those parts, and then I do not want to forget, I'm even turning and I'm noticing, oh, I forgot inside there. Oh, forgot over there by the scarf. So drip it into all those spots and then make sure that you do the sides. So here I'm gonna do that side. If I get some on the paper, wipe it up, put it back on my snowman. Do it this side, or along the top here. This side, I gotta move my cup over so I don't spill the cup. And then along the edge here, so I gotta get all 4 sides. You can see now it's taking longer to dry. The second time takes longer than the first time, so please be patient and hold on to your brush. Once it's dry, then you'll put it on a 3rd time, and then you'll let it dry. Please look at my hands. I do not have glaze all over my hands. You should not either, because we're not spending time washing them at the sink. Because of this example, we're gonna pretend that I have a 3rd coat on there so that you guys can start working. But when we're done, I want you to raise your hand. I'll come get your brush so that you don't tip the cup over. And then I'll collect your cups and we'll collect your snowmen. I don't want to pick this up because it probably made the paper wet. It could just rip the paper and fall right through. So I'm gonna have to take this and I'll take your snowman, and I might ask you to take this paper and throw it away. And then I'll check to see that your hands are clean. You can see my table's clean. I don't have any glaze on it. Any glaze that did not end up on my snowman was on that little piece of paper. So let's have a great day glazing and following directions.